What's up guys, it's Chase over here at Rocky Mountain ADV VMC, and this is our Dual Sport Adventure Boot Buyer's Guide. Alright guys, so the time has come that you're going to get a dual sport adventure riding boot. Maybe this is your first pair, or maybe you're just looking to upgrade the pair that you currently have. Now I can tell you that these boots, they've got to offer protection, they've got to give good support, and they've got to be comfortable. You're going to be in these boots for hours, if not days at a time, so you got to make sure it's going to be comfortable and it's going to suit your riding style no matter where you're at. I can tell you from first-hand experience that I've used motocross boots on an adventure ride, and the minute that I had to walk more than 5 feet away from my motorcycle, I already wish that I had a pair of dual sport adventure boots. So what we've done, we've taken our rider experience, our product knowledge, and our customer reviews, and we're gonna narrow the search down for you. We've taken our top 5 boots, we're gonna walk through each one and talk about the performance, the construction, and the safety of each one to help give you guys a good starting point. So sit back, relax, let's get right to it. Alright, so first up is going to be the Adventure Boot from Forma. Now, if you're not familiar with Forma, you need to be. They've been around since 1999. We love the boots that they make, and we have a lot of guys here at Rocky Mountain that wear their product. Now, looking at it, this is the Adventure. Very simple design, but very effective. We're going to start out with the buckles. So it's a 3-buckle design, and it's very simple to use. And it's actually very nice to use when you have gloves on as well. You're just going to take this strap, place it over the buckle. It's going to snap down. There you go, you don't have to do anything after that. It's going to stay in place extremely well. But looking at the construction of this boot, it is going to be full grain leather throughout the entire boot. This boot is very high quality. It is built to last. Here on the toe box, you are going to have this shifter plate, so that's going to give you durability as you wear the boot. And this is going to have Forma's Dry-Tex lining along the entire inside. So from the toe all the way up to the gaiter, you are going to have a waterproof boot. Now if we look around here at the inside, you are going to have these embedded, or actually they're underneath the leather, but they have these plastic plates here. That's going to give impact and abrasion resistance on the medial side. And if we go to the lateral side, you're going to have that same thing here as well. So you're getting good support, good protection with this boot. Along the shin plate here, you are going to have this TPU shin plate. That's going to give impact and abrasion resistance as well. Now on the inside of this boot, they do have memory foam. It's extremely comfortable. It's very nice to have your foot in this boot. You're going to be able to wear it around all day long, and the footbed is going to be replaceable. Now last thing we want to touch on is going to be the sole of this boot. Looking at the design of it, the sole is actually meant to be more used for off-road, for walking and hiking. So if you're a guy that likes to go on a ride, get off the bike, walk quite a bit, or sometimes go for a hike, this is going to be a perfect choice for you. So this is the Adventure Boot from Forma. Now, all this added protection, all the functionality of this boot, it comes in at a great price point in that sub $300 mark. So we absolutely love this boot, so make sure you check this bad boy out. Alright, so next up in the lineup is going to be another Forma boot, and this is called the Terra. Now, I'd like to consider Terra the big brother of the Adventure. You're going to step up a little bit in price point, but you're also going to get a little bit of added safety and functionality along with that as well. So let's take a look at it. So starting with the buckle, same buckle design as the Adventure. However, rather than having a plastic buckle here, you are going to have aluminum, but they are going to close and snap shut the exact same way. And here on the outside where you have this plate right here, that's going to give very good abrasion and impact resistance along that lateral side of the ankle. Now looking at the outside, you are going to have that full grain leather just like with the Adventure boot, but if we look at the toe box here, you're actually going to notice that this plastic plate here is much larger along the toe box, so it's just going to give a little bit more added durability to this boot. Moving up the front, you are going to have these accordion stretch zones it's going to make it comfortable to walk in, and you are going to have that TPU shin plate up here along the top as well. Now if we look at the medial side, similar to the Adventure, you are going to have that impact and abrasion protection here, but it's going to be on the outside and not the inside, and you're still going to have that full grain leather that goes up the entire inside of the boot. If we look at the back side, you are going to have an encompassed heel in this hard plastic. That's going to give a little bit more impact resistance there. That's another upgrade that you're getting with this Terra boot. Now on the inside of this boot, you are going to have the Dry-Tex waterproof liner from Forma, and up here along the gaiter, just want to point this out, you are going to have leather along the inside of the gaiter as opposed to microfiber. So just a couple of different things that are small upgrades to this boot that make it very, very nice. Now the sole of this boot, This is one of the major differences between this boot and the Adventure. This is more of your traditional sole. It's going to be stitched on, and this sole is going to be more for aggressive riding. If you're a guy, when you're out riding, if you like to stand up on the foot pegs and get pretty aggressive, this sole is going to be meant to take that beating. It is going to have a steel shank, so you are going to have a rigid sole. However, having that rigid sole is going to make this boot less comfortable for all day walking compared to the Adventure boot. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the two. So the Terra boot, like we said, it's the big brother to the Adventure. You're getting some added protection, some added safety and rigidity, and you are going to step up a little bit in price point. However, it's still a very comfortable boot, and it still comes in at that sub $300 level. So it is a rock solid boot. So make sure you check this bad boy out. All right, so third up on the list is going to be the balanced oil from Gaerne. Now this bad boy's been around. He's been a staple in the lineup for about 5 years. He's a customer favorite, and a little history behind it. It was actually originally designed to be a trials boot, but it eventually worked its way over and found a home in the dual sport adventure market. Now looking at it, it's a very simple design. Probably the most comfortable boot that we have up here today. That's why people love it so much. You're gonna have 3-buckle design. It's very easy to use. You're gonna set it and forget it. You can do it with gloves on. Simple, functional, and if you look at the outside here, because this was designed to be a trials boot, you're not going to have a lot of impact and abrasion resistance on the boot. It was meant to give a lot of feel to the rider. Now looking at the front, you are going to have full grain oiled leather throughout the entire boot. You are going to have a TPU plastic shin plate here on the front that is going to give some abrasion impact resistance. And if we look at the medial side here, you're going to have that full grain leather that wraps and goes all the way along the inside of the boot as well. However, you still are getting a waterproof boot. Gaerne has their Dry Tech waterproof liner that goes along the entire inside up to about here on the gaiter. So if you do get wet, these are going to keep your feet dry. Now if we look at the sole of the boot, you are going to have a gum rubber sole. It's extremely tacky on your foot pegs. That's what it was designed to do. So excellent grip and feel on the motorcycle. Now we do want to point out that being one of the most comfortable boots, you are going to sacrifice some of that rigidity and protection with this boot. So keep that in mind. If you're a guy that likes to do a lot of off-road aggressive riding, this might not be the best choice for you. However, customers absolutely love it. It's been a staple in the lineup for years. So if something that you want little to no braking time and extremely comfortable, make sure you check out the balanced oil from Gaerne. All right, so next up on the list is going to be the Corozal boot from Alpinestars. This is a new boot from Alpinestars. We're really excited about it. We love the design and functionality, so let's get right to it. So looking at it, we're going to start with the buckle system. If you know anything about their off-road moto boots, then you're going to absolutely love this buckle system. It's extremely easy to use. If you have gloves on, it's easy to find the buckles, very easy to operate. You're just going to take this, there's self-aligning buckles and self-cleaning. You're going to take the strap, slide it in, and you're going to set the buckle down. One of our favorite buckle designs of any boot that we carry. Looking at it, you are going to have this blade system right here on the lateral side on the heel, or sorry, on the ankle. So you know that right out of the box, these are going to give good flexibility, so they're going to be comfortable to walk around. If I flex that there, you can see that design, that pivot point, good flexibility right out of the box, very comfortable. Going back down, we look, you are going to have good impact and abrasion resistance along the entire lateral side of this boot. You are going to have that full leather here on the outside. And if we look at the toe box, they've put the shifter plate for that added durability as well. So they've really thought this boot through, added a lot of protection, a lot of durability features. If we go up the front side of the boot here, you are going to have a mixture of that microfiber coming up the front and those accordion flex zones. So you know you're going to get flexibility. You do have that TPU shin plate here on the front for that abrasion and impact resistance. Now let's look at the medial side here. Again, you're going to have that full synthetic leather here on the inside, and then you're working your way up the inside. You are going to have that suede panel here. That's going to give heat and abrasion resistance. It's also going to give a good interface against the bike as you ride. Now, last thing on the back, we do want to point out these microfiber accordion flex zones here. So like we said, good flexibility along with that ankle support. So all day walking comfort with this boot, and you are going to have a reinforced heel box on the back as well. Now, one thing I do want to point out is Alpinestars on this boot is using their Dry Star liner system. So you are getting a waterproof boot from the toe box all the way up to the gaiter. So whatever Mother Nature throws at you, your feet are going to stay dry in this boot. Now, last thing we are going to point out is going to be the sole of this boot. This is one of my favorite parts of this new boot from Alpinestars. If you look at it, you're going to get these bi-directional lugs. They're very aggressive, so if you get off the bike, if you're going to walk around, you're going to have great grip on the ground. But what we really like is this platform right here that they've done. They've actually taken a moto style platform and put it right here in the middle. So if you are a guy that likes to get aggressive off-road, you're going to have that platform that's going to give excellent feel and excellent grip on your foot peg. That's a nice touch. That's how you know that they've really thought these boots all the way through. So like we said before, a lot of safety, a lot of functionality, and we absolutely love this boot. Not enough good things to say about it. And last but not least, it comes in under that sub $300 mark. So a rock solid boot. So definitely want to make sure you check this boot out on our website. All right, so last up on the list is going to be the Toucan boot from Alpinestars. Now this is going to be the top of the food chain boot from Alpinestars. This is a boot I like to call bomb-proof. Now if we look at it, you're going to get the same buckle design as the Corozal, but you are going to get aluminum buckles rather than plastic. We love the design, extremely easy to use with or without gloves. It's just going to snap down, they're self-aligning, and they're not going to go anywhere. If you look at it, you're going to have large TPU panels along the entire lateral side here, so they're making sure that for any impact or abrasion, they've got you covered. You are going to have vent panels on the lateral side here, so if your foot does get hot, if you start to sweat, it's going to allow that sweat to evaporate through the boot. Now we do want to point out right here on this lateral side on the ankle, they do have a pivot system. So you know that right out of the box, these are going to be comfortable to walk around in. You see, you can actually see it flexing there. So they've really made sure that you're getting all that safety and functionality, but you're going to get a comfortable boot as well. Now going to the front of the boot, you're going to have that full grain leather along the front. It is a coated leather, so it's going to be a bit more durable than just leather. And you are going to have a large TPU toe plate here as well. Like I said, a lot of durability built into these boots. Now coming up the front, you are going to have these microfiber accordion flex panels, so you're going to get a lot of flexibility, a lot of comfort there, and you are going to have this large TPU shim plate, so you're getting that impact and abrasion resistance in the front as well. One thing to note, we do like, here in the front, you are going to have Alpinestars flex blade system, so if you see, if I press forward there, that's going to flex. It's going to give even more flexion and comfort as you walk around in these boots. Now, if we look at the medial side here, that TPU panel you have on the toe box, they've extended that, comes all the way up the medial side along the entire inside of the boot, and you are going to have these honeycomb inserts here that's going to give that abrasion and heat resistance, as well as a great interface on the motorcycle as you ride. Looking at the back, you are going to have a reinforced heel cup here. Those accordion flex zones go all the way up along the back. So like we said, impact resistance here, flexion here, an insanely comfortable boot for how much is really put into this thing. Now let's look at the sole. So Alpinestars uses their proprietary compound. It's extremely durable, it's very tacky, it's a multi-durometer, and then you actually see these lugs are very aggressive. So it's going to be a great street and off-road design, but if you do want to get off the bike and walk around a little bit, you're going to have great traction on the ground as well. You are going to have a steel shank, so you are going to have a rigid sole, so they've really covered the base with just about everything in this boot. So last thing I'm going to point out with the Toucan boot from Alpinestars, and the reason I say this bad boy is bomb-proof, you're getting a full Gore-Tex liner on the inside. When it comes to waterproof, Gore-Tex is going to be your top shelf liner. It's guaranteed to keep you dry, and if your feet do get hot or sweaty, it's going to allow that sweat to evaporate and your feet are going to stay nice and cool. So that is what really separates this boot apart from all the others that are up here. You're getting great street functionality, a ton of impact resistance for your off-road riding with that Gore-Tex membrane. So definitely make sure you go check out the Toucan boot from Alpinestars. This boot is rock solid. Now to ease your mind on sizing, what we've done is we've had multiple people here at Rocky Mountain try on all these boots, and we know that all of them, with the exception of the Corozal and the Toucan, they're all going to fit true to size. The Toucan and the Corozal, they run about a half size large, so just keep that in mind. Now if you're a guy that likes to wear a knee brace or a shin guard and you have large legs, I'm going to point you towards either the Forma or the Alpinestars. These guys give the most amount of room for adjustability. But hey, if you have more questions about fit or sizing, just comment below, ask us your questions, and one of our product experts will get back to you. Here's a recap of the buyer's guide to give you guys a side-by-side comparison of some of the common features, as well as the standout features that really make these products unique. Alright guys, so thanks for checking out our Dual Sport Adventure Boot Buyer's Guide. We hope we were able to narrow it down enough today to help you know what boot's going to be on your list next. Now go to our website at RockyMountainATVMC.com where you can shop the full collection of boots and read customer reviews. Now remember, we have our fit guarantee, so if you get a boot, if you're not happy with the size or the fit, send it back to us and we will make sure you get the correct size free of charge on that first exchange. Now before I let you go, I need you to click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us your thoughts and comments. We want to know what you guys have to say about these boots that are up here today. I'm Chase with Rocky Mountain, and we'll see you on the trails.